start. So firstly, I'm absolutely delighted on the number of students who have left the mothership at Clayton and come to one of its satellites down here in Brown to hear about honours opportunities on the Alfred Precinct. Firstly, just let me acknowledge the teaching and administrative staff who put the night together. It's a huge amount of work, as you can imagine, with all the buses and food, etc. So thanks very much to everybody who has worked tirelessly to get it all in place. Hopefully you'll have a night where you'll learn about the prospects for doing honours on the precinct. I'm Steve Jane, I'm head of the Central Clinical Schools, which is one of two Monash schools on the precinct. The School of Public Health and Preventative Medicine is the other. But I also stand here representing two of our key partners, which are medical research institutes, which is the Baker Institute and the Burnett Institute. So it's a joint collegial night where the two schools and the two MRIs get together to showcase research. And the benefit of that is that you see in one visit a huge spectrum of research opportunities at this precinct. And I think one thing we pride ourselves on and what we try and tell you about is how we're different from what's offered largely at Clayton, and that is really what sits right next door to us, which is the Alfred Hospital. And the reason that we have all flourished on this site is the access that we have to patients and clinical studies, and that's why it's really a translational research precinct, translational research being bench to bedside and back again, and because of that close integration that we have with our clinical colleagues, many of whom who work in the institutes and schools, and of course the patients themselves, gives you the opportunity to do research that we think is going to make a difference a lot faster than research that you might do in a basic science laboratory, for example. Nothing wrong with doing basic science research, it's a great pastime, but for me as a clinician and many people who work on the precinct as well, the opportunity to get your research to make a difference into a patient outcome quickly is a very appealing philosophy as part of your research strategy. So that's the point of difference we really try and sell you and encourage you to look at that option of making a real difference with your research in terms of what patient outcomes might look like. So the program tonight is 15 minutes of boredom from me, and then we'll get on to the interesting stuff, which will be past students who are going to talk to you about their experience of honours and going on to even higher degree research. And to be honest, let's be candid. The reason that we love you coming here is we love you coming as honours students, we love you even more coming as PhD students in the future. So we're certainly going to be talking to you about what this might mean for your career pathway going not only to honours but beyond that, because we think that the PhD student pathway is where it really takes you into science, gives you broader career opportunities, and certainly that's what we'll be trying to interest you in, as well as trying to engage you obviously with your honours year. We're going to have Dragan Ilic, who's the Director of Training and Learning at the School of Public Health, who's going to talk to you about the processes, how you get in, what you need to do, etc. And then we're going to have open house where you go and talk to investigators about their projects in different departments, and then we'll give you some pizza and bus you all back to Clayton. That's me. So as I mentioned, translational research really is the ability to make a difference quickly, and I think one thing about the precinct, it has enormous breadth. So my school, for example, largely engages with the clinical departments at the Alfred, so we have departments of psychiatry, of respiratory medicine, haematology, oncology, gastroenterology, diabetes, etc., immunology, lots of clinical departments. So there's lots, whatever your persuasion might be in terms of what you're thinking as your clinical interest or research interest, there's an outlet for you. But even more than that, there's superb outlets as far as public health goes, which are population studies or health economics or occupational health, environmental health, a huge range of opportunities that comes through the School of Public Health. Slightly different to the clinical opportunities at Central Clinical School, and that's, I think, a great plus for the precinct. Really, whatever your interests might be, we'll cater for it pretty well here. And then the two specialist institutes, Baker, which is predominantly cardiology and diabetes, and Burnett, which is infectious diseases, both offering outstanding training opportunities for both honours and more advanced studies going forward. So who are we? This is our precinct, and you can see we're sort of spattered all over it, but the big orange building in the middle is the Alfred, and that really is the epicentre of the precinct, and really who we all sort of interact with. We have various interactions with all of the partners, but the Alfred's sort of the binding glue for the whole precinct, basically. You can see Monash is dotted at either end. That's the School of Public Health down the far end, and the Central Clinical School is down at this end, and then Baker and Burnett in the middle. So that's the layout of the land. These are the people who are key for you to talk to going forward, and the honours coordinators, so from the Central Clinical School up the top, and from the School of Public Health down the bottom, and Dragon will talk to that a little bit further as we go on in the night. So this is the slide. Apart from the academic excellence and the breadth and scope of what you can do here, it's just a superb place to be. Like Chapel Street, Greville Street, fantastic shopping, coffee shops, close to the city. And in terms of a lifestyle decision, and let's face it, we want you to be in the lab, but we don't want you to be there 24 hours. So it's nice for you to be able to get out, enjoy Faulkner Park. So these are the sorts of attractions that are available to you if you come to this precinct. And these are the sorts of attractions that So if you're into burnt out car wrecks and batteries, by all means, Clayton is your destination. But if there's more to your thinking than pure science and there are lifestyle factors that come in, then I'll just go back to this and remind you there's a comparator here. So I think we can pretty much guarantee an awesome experience. It used to be that students were a bit nervous about leaving the mothership and coming here. They were worried about scale and scope. Would there be enough other students? We have an enormous honours cohort here now, massive. So there's a program in itself, basically. You'll have lots of fellow students to interact with, both professionally and socially. Lots of programs going on across all the partners in the school. So this concept of you're away from Clayton and that's a bad thing is really a thing of the past now. As I said, we have huge numbers of students, so there'll be plenty of people around, and it really does make it a great experience. The research is outstanding. It's the #1 clinical academic precinct in the country, and that's just not a boast. That's based on evidence of success at NHMRC grants, Medical Research Future Fund grants. This precinct has had 25% of the competitive grants for the Medical Research Future Fund in Australia have come to this precinct. So it's a fantastic precinct by any measure, with outstanding leaders in all of the disciplines. And by all means, don't take my word, Google them, have a look at them, have a look at their publication records, have a look at where they sit in the world rankings. These are outstanding investigators on the precinct that you will have the benefits of working for, and it helps you, I think, set your career up when you have really great mentors. They give you great advice, great leadership about how your career might go, but they're also going to take an interest in your career. And there's nothing more useful to you than having somebody who's very well connected, being in a position to provide you with advice, guidance, and opportunity as far as your future careers go. As I mentioned, the research does give you an opportunity to make a difference. Research that is going to impact on a patient quickly, make a difference to a community. Some of these are fascinating projects. So Burnett offers brilliant rural and international research opportunities for pregnancy in Papua New Guinea, for example. So really an opportunity on a grand scale to make a difference, or just on a local scale with important breakthroughs in diabetes or leukemia. These things are really changing the way that patients are managed and treated, and they're the sorts of things available to you here. And as I mentioned, there's a list of the older group of researchers, but I think we've got a superb cadre of younger investigators around too. So you don't necessarily have to work with old blokes like me. There are good younger people who are really invigorated, excited about the science, who want to share that with you. So I like this. It's a bit tragic that House has sort of disappeared off our TV screens, because translational research is the concept of mouth to house. So that's really what we're about, is being able to take basic science or population health and so on and move it into outcomes. We do have scholarships available. I think each individual partner has a certain degree of scholarships. We have a couple of scholarships at $6,000 as an incentive, but obviously there's a lot more of you come than that. We can't offer more than that, we just don't have the funds, but certainly in terms of provision of all the resources you need to be able to do a successful honours projects, the labs are well furnished to provide that. As I mentioned, there's a translational research pathway for you to take you further down the road if that's the way you decide to go. And we introduced a new PhD into the university a number of years ago, which was the first newly badged PhD in about 40 years at Monash, basically, and that's a translational PhD, and that's an idea to provide you with a range of potential career pathways. It might be in intellectual property, it might be in biostatistics, it might be in commercialisation, it might be in pharma. So instead of just going down a path that can only lead you to a research fellowship type career, we think we're now arming you with a much broader talent base to give you opportunities of thinking, well, maybe I don't want to go down a straight research path. Would I like to be involved in scientific writing or media or commercialisation or something different? So I think we're learning that the student needs are much broader than they have ever been, and it's our duty to you to try and provide you with career pathways that open up to you and give you as broad a spectrum of opportunity as we possibly can. So that's it from me. Please feel free to go around and ask as many questions as you like, but the most important people are going to talk to you now. So Lauren Pearson's going to talk to you about the student experience. I'll pass over to her. And grateful that you all came, absolutely delighted to see the room so full. And whatever you choose, I wish you the very, very best of luck for your honours projects next year, be it here or elsewhere. Thanks very much.